Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome in Laurel Nichols from the Asante Sanctuary Journey program. Laurel, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start with the program. What is the Sanctuary program?
Well, the Behavioral Health Unit has been in place since the early 70s, and we have 18 beds on the Behavioral Health Unit. And we recognized several years ago that we really need to change our model of care. And what the Sanctuary model is a trauma-informed model of care. So it's going to really change how we interact with patients and how we interact with each other.
Okay, and so how long has this program been around, and how do you continue to grow it?
The Sanctuary model itself has been around for, I would say, about almost 20 years.
Okay.
And there are organizations all across, actually internationally, that have adopted the Sanctuary model. There are many trauma-informed models of care. Most of them are very specific to the interaction between the staff and the client or patient. What I loved about the Sanctuary model is I knew that a group of people that deal with highly traumatized patients or clients become traumatized. There's a vicarious traumatization that happens that when you work with people that have such horrible stories and so much despair, it starts to affect the staff.
Certainly.
And the staff itself becomes sick. So Sanctuary model not only is something for patients, but it's something for staff too. It provides the environment and the structure and the box, the placeholder for staff to actually heal themselves.
And with such a large organization, I imagine the numbers dwindle significantly when you deal with kind of frontline care. How do you grow this so that everybody can better handle that kind of trauma?
So the Behavioral Health Unit is itself going to become certified in Sanctuary. It's a 3-year process. But when I started thinking about the program, I realized our mental health clients come in through the emergency department. They sometimes go up to critical care. They'll get behavioral health patients in the women's and children's departments So I opened it up not only to other areas of the hospital, the training, but I also invited some of our community partners. So the Compass House is one of our major community partners, and so they were able to come and take the training with us so that there's this shared language as our patients are discharged and become members of the Compass House. There's the same values and the same shared language, and it provides that continuity. Yeah. And the other thing is that ED staff and critical care staff, they're dealing with people all the time that shouldn't be dying. And that kind of trauma to a staff is really, it's profound. Yeah,
they're only human, of course.
Right.
Okay, so you mentioned something before we started this interview about a letter that was in a local paper and talked about the need. You thought really kind of clarified that well.
So we've been working on this initiative for several years. Along with the Sanctuary program, we are doing a major remodel of the Behavioral Health Unit, an increase in beds, and a remodel of the Psychiatric Care Unit. When that unit was built, there were only maybe half a dozen patients a day that would come through that unit, and the Behavioral Health Unit always had beds. So it was a quick flow from the ED up into the Behavioral Health Unit. Now the Behavioral Health Unit is full all the time, and people end up stuck in the emergency department. So a woman wrote a guest editorial to the Medford Tribune about her experience in the Psychiatric Care Unit in the emergency department. And it was very, very accurate in its portrayal of what happens. Those rooms were built for the most dangerous, violent patients, without regard to the more the people that come in voluntarily looking for help, that are having suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
And so it didn't used to be such an issue because we could move them through quickly. But now we are having to put a mattress on the floor. They spend the night there. Sometimes people are boarding for 2 or 3 days in our ER while we're looking for a bed for them.
Wow.
So I want to acknowledge that that letter was really accurate. And